Evening intuitives. Yes, I'm back for another video, and you know, hi everybody who this might be your first video. Please like and subscribe to help this small channel grow and give this nobody some sense of purpose that he's helping people and making the world a better place, because they took my firefighter badge away. And since I, talked about things and made them answer for it, I'm reasonably certain that the union is like mad at me. Like, I'm on that special list that's made of a very dark color. So the idea of returning is slim to none, at least in this country. Well, and Canada too, because it's the same union. And I only speak English fluently, so that limits my thing. Which raises the very important question of, are there any pretty single ENFJ girls across the pond who want to marry a guy like me? Or just tell me about yourselves and I'll let witchcraft do the rest. I kid. If I was gonna cast a spell to make somebody fall for me, I think you all know who I would use it on. And I haven't, probably. But regardless, welcome to the channel. Like and subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Comment below. That helps too. And you should get to interact with each other, because we're primarily introverts on here and we don't interact with enough people and live in our own heads. So you might as well interact on this channel amongst a group that is mostly your own kind. It's a very niche channel. Also, if you watch the videos on this channel mainly because of my narcissistic abuse recovery videos, I highly suggest you watch my latest video, on that playlist, which is about going low contact, which is important because not many people talk about low contact. They talk about no contact, but sometimes no contact isn't, possible, and you got to compromise. I know, INFJs don't like that, but there's, ways to do low contact to make it a lot better than it could be, and that video gets into it. And most narcissism channels just breeze over low contact. They don't devote a whole video to it because they're not that cool, or they just can't ramble that long. So after 2.5 minutes, I'm going to finally get into my topic. Got the rambling out early. And this was requested by somebody. If you'd like to request a certain topic, you can send it in a comment with a super thanks, and I'll look at it and I'll get to it, honestly, when I get to it, usually within a week. But I don't make promises on time frames right now because things keep happening in my life, as you all know. So this person wanted me to get into the INFJ and INFJ relationships and what that is like. Well, for one, it's rare because INFJs are rare, especially the men are more rare. But it can be, and my own experiences as a 14-year-old, looking back, I was with one INFJ, but we were 14, so not really, real relationship stuff, but we definitely had a connection. So the INFJ-INFJ relationship can be wonderful due to the fact that both people are two deep thinkers who usually, are looking for something real, something like a real connection, and also know what they want in their partner. Two INFJs, if they end up together, they're going to be damn sure there's a pretty good shot that there's something real there, because INFJs don't have patience for the people that are like, I'm not sure what I want, and I like you, but my friend doesn't want me to date you. She wants me to date her abusive friend who fits in the clique, and it's all about the clique. It's like, yeah, go away, kind of thing. So INFJs, deep thinkers, intuitive, also come across as soft-spoken a lot of the time, very good listening skills. But ladies, INFJ men listen. We may be the only ones who do, but we do. And we're very organized, but also perfectionists. So if an INFJ and an INFJ get together, it's a pretty good chance that they're what each other are looking for. So I came up with 13 conclusions from the stuff I read. Now, there was more than 13, but I chose 13 because 13 is an important number for witches. It's typically the number of people in a coven. You know where we get that number? It's the number of full moons a year. Ooh, I let a secret go. So INFJs are social introverts or ambiverts, meaning that we do enjoy deep interactions, deep conversations, interactions with the right people, but then we need time to recharge. We're the most extroverted of the introverts. Yeah, so when, two INFJs meet, they'll probably have a real calm demeanor. There'll be this sort of standoff to who's supposed to make the first move and open up first, and somebody will get brave and steer the conversation towards something deep, and then they'll see if there's something there. So that's, the first point, the first impressions. Yeah, ooh, deep conversations, not shallow. That's a start. Not doing what they want to do instead of doing what other people want you to do. People pleasers. The second point, this is probably the most important, honestly, in a relationship between two INFJs, is there'll be trust in the relationship, because INFJs in general are very big on trust and integrity and being honest even at our own detriment. And I take that part to an extreme. I don't recommend others do it, but I'm so far down that road, it's too late to turn around. INFJ's intuition and empathy gives us tools that we need to trust in a partner. If you can trust your intuition. That's right, INFJs. How many times, were the red flags there, but we ignored them because we wanted to see what we wanted to see. Now, sure, sometimes, and I've been there, and recently, in fact, where it's like, oh, everything's cool. And then things change on a dime, and it's like, that's worse, because then you're like, what did I miss? What did I miss? And I'll give you a hint, subscribers. A lot of the times if something changes on a dime like that, no, your intuition was right about the person you were opening up to. What you didn't catch is that they let other people run their lives. Yeah, that's right. You gotta look out for third parties. I got sloppy and didn't consider that because I thought the person I was opening up to was quite rebellious. And ENFJs, so I let my guard down even more because they're so sweet. Yeah. Number 3 in the compatibility, intimacy. INFJs have a strong interest in others that they care about. So when an INFJ, cares about somebody like another INFJ, we actually want to get to know everything about them. Yes, we want to know everything, because when we care about somebody, which is rare, we want to be able to connect with them on a deep soulful level, not just on a physical level, because many of us are demisexual. So we need that deep connection before we get physical. But then once we get physical, it takes it to like a new soulful intensity where, to quote a couple exes, you can make her spirit orgasm. Like a succubus. Well, or incubus if you're, maybe I learned how to do that from a succubus. I am a witch. So, disputes and conflict resolutions, another important part in an INFJ relationship. Both of us aren't big in conflict, but when we go to conflict and dispute, we like to use facts and logic, which makes no sense because we're all about emotions. But when we're arguing, we try to use facts and logic. And if both parties are doing that, you could somewhat easy come to a logical conclusion. Number 5, conversations. So with another INFJ, there will be no shortage of deep philosophical conversations, and you won't have to make that awkward and painful small talk about materialistic things like shopping and, ooh, look at my stuff, or superficial pleasantries like the weather. Ew. So with two INFJs, there'll be no shortage of deep, soulful, meaning conversations, which will strengthen that emotional bond and thus make things hotter in the bedroom. The more you love, well, you have to date an INFJ to find out. Number 6, two INFJs have the same core values. So, the values in who you are as a person and what your purpose is in the world, not only will you both truly believe them and be serious about them, but they, both being INFJs, will most likely, be very similar, if not the same, which really helps with compatibility. Number 7, perhaps one of my favorites, next to trust, of course. You're both going to tend to be humanitarians. INFJs in general like to help people and make the world a better place, being the idealists that we are. So both of you will be most likely in some way, whether career, volunteering, etc., running your mouth on YouTube, will be trying to do that in some way. And there's a very good chance that your goals of how to make humanity better will align, which is always nice when there's somebody you're getting close to, as long as that person's actually serious about it. Because if it's just something that sounds nice and in reality they just do what other people tell them to do, then it's all a lie. Then you're just opening up to get hurt. Handling stress. Number 8, INFJs, given that we handle stress in the same way, And also, when we're stressed out, we can become very irritable to others. But also, being both INFJs, that means your partner is going to understand what an NITI loop is, and maybe they'll even be able to pull you out of it because they've been there inevitably, and they can probably come up with something to pull you out of it. Although I still say ENFJs are the best to pull an INFJ out of an NITI loop. It's just my experience. Something with the smile. I don't know. They can just do it better than like anybody. Then again, I don't really know. There's never another INFJ that I was really close to, so perhaps we shall see. Number 9, fighting for what is right, which means you both believe in doing the right thing at all costs. So, when you're like on a crusade, like, I don't care what happens to me. I'm going to call this person out. I can't, stand by and watch somebody get, abused and exploited. I'm going to do the right thing, even though people are telling me not to. And I know these people that, have my back now are going to Daenerys Targaryen syndrome my ass. That's another video. As soon as I do it and turn on me because it's like, the boss can do it the way they want. Like, the title, yeah. But another INFJ will understand that. Not only will they understand that, they will most likely give you something that INFJs rarely get, which is genuine backup. Not, ooh, the INFJs rantings are popular. I will stand behind them. You go get them. Go make the world a better place. Challenge that status quo until the day comes when you finally are calling out the boss in front of everybody based on facts about, rules they broke and how they treated people like shit. And then all of a sudden, that's the real bad guy. He dared me to burn the city down. And then when I did it, now all of a sudden I'm bad. It's like, unfortunately for you, I'm not such easy prey to stick a knife in me. Unless it's emotional. Yeah. Well, yeah, get an ENFJ to do it. I'll probably fall for it, let's be honest. Number 10, INFJs stay focused. So, how INFJs, how you're so laser focused on something you really mean about. Like me 3 years ago, I'm like, I am getting hired by a fire department. I'm not stopping until this is done. Nothing else matters. And other people are like, well, just is what it is. You get what you get. Luck of the draw. Just crack a beer and never look back. If you're laser focused on something that defines you, it's a big part of your life, as careers often do for INFJs. Another INFJ is not even going to understand, but they're probably going to help you with that because they've been there and they actually respect that. Yeah. So again, backup. I'd settle for neutrality from people. People in my life try to get in my way. 11, organization. INFJs are typically very organized people in terms of the major parts in our lives. And that's the sub point for this one. You and your partner are both going to be focused on the big picture thing. So you'll be on the same page. INFJs don't really give a shit about the day-to-day stuff, although, you can say, well, that spontaneity is important. Yeah, but we do it on occasion because INFJs, we listen and we use that intuition. If we're like, it's time for a surprise, since I pay attention to her conversations, let me think of something like, oh, she likes nature and she said her favorite beer is Land Shark. Well, since it's still nice out, maybe I'll take her to a picnic and make sure that's the beer I bring. Yeah, something like that. And that's just, like something I just did off of one conversation. It never came to fruition, but I came up with the idea because I pay attention, as do, I'd say, most INFJs. So in an INFJ relationship, there will be those little details and those little niceties for no absolute reason at all, because that's how INFJs show affection. We do little things that people don't think we pick up on, but we do, and we do it without being asked. 12, and it's a really important one, energy and rest. Being that you're with another INFJ, they, like you, not only, are the same, but they also understand that you can only be social, be, quote, extrovert or ambiverted for so long before you need time to recharge alone. All INFJs need alone time, and another INFJ is going to understand that. So that's a very important part in a relationship, because that's particularly something that especially extroverted types don't understand. ENFJs kind of do, because they're the most introverted of the extroverted. But sensor types, they don't get that at all, like at all. But another INFJ, it's like, oh, when you need a little alone time, you'll be able to get it without a guilt trip, which is good, very good. And I talked about already, but 13 is vision for the future. So if you have a real connection and you see something real there, you'll both be planning for a future together. Because another INFJ is going to be focused on the big picture and on the future, not just on the mundane day to day, like where are we going out, where are we, what's for dinner tonight. And that's always good to have, your partner being focused on the big decisions in life as opposed to the day to day, which we often overlook and procrastinate because we don't want to do it. So, INFJs being that we are hyper focused, righteous, clean freak, we might not be compatible with many types, kind of. It depends. But we're definitely compatible with another INFJ, and it'll take understanding to a new level. We're good with ENFPs, we're good with ENFJs to INFPs as well. But another INFJ, that'll take understanding to a new level. So there are the major positive points of an INFJ and INFJ relationship for the subscriber that requested it. Again, if you want to request something, send a super thanks and tell me what you want me to do a video on, as long as it fits into one of the categories that I do, and I'll, get to it hopefully within a week. It all depends on what's going on. Thank you if you made it to the end. Please like and subscribe. If these videos have helped you and you want to send us a super thanks as a tip, please go ahead and do so. I have no Patreon or subscription service. And, if you're relatively new to the channel and you've only watched my newer videos, go out back and check out some of the older videos. I'm not as polished, not that I am now, but the information is still solid for the most part, probably. So remember, trust your intuition, which is even easier to do when both of you have the same level of intuition. And another INFJ is going to have integrity like you, a rare quality that should not be squandered.